We can start now.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to use this microphone so maybe you can hear me better. Yeah, I'm Tomi Henttinen. I'm trained as an architect. I have been working as a consultant for more than 10 years, maybe 15 years already, consulting BIM projects. And today our company has worked with over 60 open BIM projects from the year 2004. Today I'm going to speak and tell you a little bit about buildingSMART Finland and especially the InfraBIM group, what the infrastructure user group has been doing and what they are planning to do in the future. buildingSMART Finland is an open organization. We were established originally in 19s already, but the last 5 years has been the group has been growing a lot, and today we are about 120 member organizations. We have only organizational members in our group. We are doing projects, for example, in the infra sector. The infra sector is the biggest in a project-wise, and our budget is at the moment about. Well, next year it will be about €500,000. We have 2 part-timers, and we are aiming for having staff in our organization working full-time. The organization chart, if you remember what Jan was showing in his presentation, we are, of course, connection to the buildingSMART International through buildingSMART Nordics. I am the chair, I have the board on top of me. And then we have, at the moment, 5 active user groups. And the one that I'm going to talk about today is the infrastructure user group. The infrastructure user group is the biggest one at this point. And they had divided, the infrastructure user group is the biggest one. They have divided their work, or their like working groups, their standardization, guidelines, communication, education, development, and then they have pilot projects, which they are sort of testing these ideas. The infra group has developed a strategy last year, and the sort of main message is that we are the flywheel of built infrastructure, meaning that they try to develop the cooperation through foresight, systemization and transformation, and that's done by development and implementation. With this, what they are in details, what they are doing. One part is detail standards and guidelines, and this is maybe the part that is showing or visible to in international level as well. So the standards which have been used, which have been developed and used in Finland, are actually now international standards, so it's working from bottom up in that sense. In infra sector, BIM is more than just 3D model. I think that goes to all other sectors as well, but this is sort of essential part infra-BIM thinking, that it's not just a 3D model, so it's a comprehensive information management in total. One of the things in the strategy is that also that services are model-based. So in the future, the model itself will work as a platform for different kinds of services. And at the end of the day, the technology is just an enabler. It just enables things. I'm not going to go into details with this roadmap, but you just to show you that they have sort of a long-term commitment to this, and they have generated a roadmap how to proceed with these goals. The goal for all this is Digital Build Finland, and infra is of course a big part of that. It is more than just infra, but infrastructure and infrastructures are a vital part of the digitalization in general. I have divided the sort of path. If you look at the sort of, we have initial data, we have design and construction, and then we have operations and maintenance. I have divided this that we have information or data in three different cornerstones. It's the information of the data, it's knowledge of the data, and data as an asset. And these are the fields that also Infra Group is developing all the time. This all should bring us new business opportunities. And for example, I told you about that models will serve as a platform for the services. So I think that this digital information will give us new business opportunities, also through models. So what has been done already? There's guidelines, common infra guidelines. They were published this year in May. 7 series are now ready. There are some series still to come. Then there is a data exchange format called InfraModel 3. And InfraModel 3 is actually nowadays called buildingSMART Land XML, so it's the same. And now Infra Group is working, the Finnish Infra Group is working with the next version of that. We have also implemented IFC for bridges, or actually using the IFC as it is, and utilizing the parts that are suitable for bridge design. There's a new version of classification, and the extension is coming. Actually, I think it's actually released. This is a couple of weeks late, this information, but this is already released. And then there's the terminology and case studies. The common infrastructure modeling requirements is pretty much the same thing that we did for buildings 3 years ago. So we published, 2012, we published the common BIM requirements. That's for building design, and it's been used now in everyday actions for that period. But now this year we also published through the Infra Group the common BIM requirements. There is also English version available. If you go to www.infrabim.fi/en, you will find the English version of those parts that are marked red here. So we have the managing model-based projects, general model requirements, requirements of initial information, and preparation instructions for as-planned models on earthworks. This is for machine control modeling. So those are now in English, and you can go and check them out. Initial information is seen as very important and essential thing, and that's why the Infra user group has started to creates the harmonized processes and methods for collecting the initial data. And here is an example, or not an example, here's the process. So there's the first, starts with the assignment, then it's the order, and with this, all these different fields, there's quality assurance, and at the end, the handover check there will be the sort of final check of the material and approve it. For the initial data, the infra group has defined the new classification library, and there's probably, you can't see that it's different sort of there's a terrain model, ground model, constructions, MAP and GIS, and a reference material, so different folder structures. And also different metadata for the initial data. And that way we can now get harmonized material for the use in projects. Another thing that I mentioned already was that Infra Group is working with a new extension or new improved version of the InfraModel 3. It's called InfraModel 3.1. There will be some new elements and new features. The list is here. Many of those are already in the InfraModel 3, but they will be sort of giving more detailed structures and more detailed specifications. And this is also, because this is basically nowadays buildingSMART standard. All this work that the Finnish Infra Group does will be then implemented to international level as well. To summarize, the maturity in BIM for InfraBIM, this is sort of the maturity levels are based on the UK charts, so maybe if you know the UK wedge, level 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is pretty much the same thing. So what has been done already is the data management part, and then visualization of data. So basically using of the data and using 3D models. The next goal is that the object data models improve and the information is actually in the models. And the final maturity goal is that both linked data and object models can be used as one single model. That's from me.